Hello and welcome to my video today. Today I'm going to go over a quick dashboard I made with Grafana. I have the here, so I go to the dashboard. So this is predictive maintenance data from Kaggle that I got from this dataset, and it has let's go to the table. Air temperature, process temperature, rotational speed, torque, tool wear, and then it has whether the machine failed or not, and it has it. I have it here. So no failure, and then there's failure type, 0 for target, and then rotational speed. And I have here the graphs that the Kaggle example made. So it has a distribution histogram of torque, rotational speed, and then one of the ones that is like this. Yeah, it would be this one. Rotational speed to torque. And basically you have high torque and low speed, and it has more failures. Low torque and high speed, it has more failures. But average or medium or respectable torque and speed, it seems to be pretty reliable. So that's like a good one I have on these, and I have this one as well. So we have no failure, and what are these red ones? Too well failure. So I guess there's still some failures in here. This one's made with Plotly in Python, just with the CSV as well imported. We have power failure, rotational, heat dissipation failure. So they kind of cluster on the low, so high torque anyways. I guess maybe the reason that the high torque, so high torque, low speed, high speed, low torque. Maybe the correlation between any high torque, it needs to have a low speed in the machine, because if you like, okay, it's ramp up the torque, the speed needs to go down. And if you have extreme metrics like this, high torque, okay, more failures. And then similarly with the low, with the high speed, it needs to have low torque just in the machine's settings, but the high speed can cause these failures here. So I recreated these in this Grafana. So we have a torque distribution, speed. I didn't have a title here, but that's okay. RPM distribution. You can go in here and check out, drill down, And here, can I make it full screen view? Should work. It's just, there we go. And I have the small ones. There's no failure, and then the bigger ones failure. So I could play around with it, but I have the same sort of shape as I have here in this Plotly, and also in their example in the Kaggle machine learning example. And yeah, so edit. Yeah, and how I was able to get this going. So on Docker, you basically can, if I go here, just ran a Docker run 3000 Grafana, and then I put the CSV file in the directory here, and this is all in WSL and Docker. So Windows subsystem for Linux, and then a Docker in there, Docker image in there, and then here I can serve this to 8000 port, and then it's getting GET request through HTTP within Grafana, and then in here, and the plugin is using Infinity. So it was these are the plugins, Infinity. And I go back here in my dashboard, and let's edit, and so I made this machine.infinity, and you go CSV, and then you have this URL like basically localhost 8,000 predictive maintenance, and since it's within Docker, it should work. Local, no, what was it? Yeah, local dot docker dot instance, something like that. I forget, but it didn't work anyways. But I found if I do this, you can use this one, and this one worked. And this one, I've done this before. 127, it's like the local, or within WSL Docker, or like within WSL and Docker. But this one worked for me this time, and so I added that. And yeah, but then here I have to add what I want. So if I have the table, you can check it here. But if I go back here, okay, I want process temperature, air temperature, UDI, stuff like that. So I have to add it in, and then on the right here, I can change the settings. For example, like for the color palette, max min. For example, I don't like these transparent full opacity. Like, I don't know. Let's try this. I don't know. I need like point stroke width. Let's try this. Yeah. Anyways, it's good enough, I guess. But yeah, you can play around with like save, and yeah, I made the minimum 1.5, bin 0.5, and the maximum 10. So it's relatively noticeable. Meaning failure 0, no failure, and failure 1, meaning failure, because I have failure number. I tried a Boolean, but that seemed to be easier with 0 and 1, and then just have min and max, and then X, yeah. So getting the instance, like, so basically the Grafana instance, if you have Docker or Docker knowledge, it was pretty easy actually. I could just do the one line with WSL and it worked. But that's because I already had my Ubuntu work environment in WSL and Docker already up and running or working and installed, and know how to use it. But then I didn't know how to really add how I could just add a CSV file. So I had to use Gemini to create it said like, gave it what I wanted to do, and so created like a step-by-step tutorial for me. So I was able, okay, you have to host your CSV file here. So for example, if I do this and refresh it, no, it didn't work. Localhost 8,000 predictive maintenance CSV. So I download it. So it's getting this CSV file from this localhost, and it's published here. So I didn't know how to do that, but anyway, so I used this Gemini LLM to help me walk through it. And then after that, it's pretty easy. Like pretty normal dashboard stuff. I mean, actually no, let's go to this one. We have CSV. Okay, I have the URL where I want it, and then you just have to add which ones you want. So I just need RPM for histogram, and then click a histogram, and you can pick the colors. And then other than that, it's pretty good, pretty straightforward, normal like dashboard kind of creating. But it certainly is a little more. It's not just make an account, put your name, put your email address, and log into the cloud. But it's certainly a good solution for cost-effective open source business intelligent dashboards. So yeah, that's my evaluation of using Grafana for data visualizations. It takes a little bit more work to get set up with Docker, but once that threshold is met, I'd say it's the same as using any other dashboard, any other data visualization, dashboard, business intelligence. Another thing that I got confused about was, or I even said that, it was like, how do I add the data? And I just had to like create my own tutorial using AI and have to host it with, or send the CSV through HTTP, because, and I use this Infinity plugin, because this Grafana is meant for, basically, there's all these different connections. A lot of it is timestamp, like Prometheus. And it like monitors servers, or alert, like you can create alerting for errors on your application, on your server and everything. And but you can use it just for regular data visualization. So I didn't know how to do that. And again, just had to figure it out. and then, yeah, like I said, once setting up with Docker, and then adding the data, sending it through HTTP, and then finding the local URL. Once that's done, then again, editing the dashboard is just like any other dashboard editor. So yeah. And then hosting it, I'm sure you can also just like, so this is I can maybe move it. Yeah, nice. For example, like this, yeah. So I can have it here and like nice, but I'm sure I could also host this somewhere else, even on SharePoint. Like hosting on SharePoint's pretty easy. And yeah, good to go. Bob's your uncle. Bingo bango. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, and bye for now.